Last lecture we had started list data structures in Python, and we were at this slide in which we were talking about the index structure. So I will repeat this slide as a recap. And so basically, in a list we can keep multiple data, and we would like to access some specific items. How can we do it? By using the index of the items in a list. So in a list we have multiple items, and each item has a unique index. And what is this feature of this index? Well, I will show it through code. So let me just copy paste this list, and then I'll go to my Python screen. Let me also change the screen a little bit. So let's say that this is our list, and it has 4 items, and I need to reach, let's say, the first one. So just I want to get this 10. Now, as computer scientists, we have some kind of a different kind of dealing with the numbers. Like a normal person probably would count it. Okay, what is the index of 10? Well, it should be 1 probably, because it's the first item. But in computer science, we start counting from 0. So the index of 10 is not 1 in this case, says it is 0. And how can I reach it? Well, I need to write my list name, and then between these square brackets, I will put the index of the item that I want to reach. So if I say 0, then it will give me the first one. Or if I give 1, then it will give me the second one. If I say 2, it will give me the third one. If I say 3, it will give me the fourth one. So the last index of the item is, like, if I have 4 items, then the index of the last item is 3. It's always -1 because we start counting from 0. And if I try to attempt, like if I say, okay, give me the item that index 4, well, I don't have that item. I don't have 5 items in that list. So if I try to do it, I will get an error. I will just get this index error because it is out of range. I don't have this 5th item in my list. And, well, Python has a very interesting feature, which is if I have this list, I can also write -1. So I can give some negative numbers. But when I'm doing it, it starts going from the end. So -1 gives me the last item. So just to repeat, like -1 and -1 and -3 are actually the same numbers. And if I say -2, then it will start again counting from the end. So 40 is -1, 30 is -2 index. So if I say this, it will give me 30. So again, the index of 2 in this case and the -2 are actually the same. So they're referring to the same item. Similarly, if we go with -3, then it will be -1 is 40, -2 is 30, -3 is 20. So it will give me 20, and -4 will give me the first item. But if I keep going, like if I say -5, then I will get an index error. So basically, the valid index range is, if I have n numbers, it is -n, from -n to n-1. These are all valid index numbers, but the rest we will get an index error if we try to attempt items in that index, because we don't have it in our list. And, well, why do we use it? Where can we use it? Well, we can use it to access the data. Let's say that I want to iterate over the items. Let's say that this is my list, so I will write it now in the left side. And then what I can do is, now I can start counting from 0. So I'll say, okay, index is 0. And then I will say, okay, in a while loop, while my index is less than 1, 2, 3, 4, when it is less than 4, okay, what I can do is I can get this item, which is, in this case it is my list, and then I can use this index variable to get a specific number in my item, and then maybe I'll just print it. So maybe I'll just print that number. And then what I should do is, since I'm in a while loop, I need to update the index number. Otherwise, index will be always less than 4. So I need to go to the next item. So I can update my index number. And that's it. So when I run this code, what we will get is basically 10, 20, 30, 40. So just to repeat, what we are doing here is, here we have the list, and then we start from the index from 0, and then in a while loop I'm saying the index is less than 4. Why I did say 4? Because I have 4 items here, and then what I'm doing is, well, index is 0, so we print the item in the index 0, which is 10, as we printed here. Then we increment index by 1, then it becomes 1, so it's still less than 4. So we print the item with the index 1. We increment it 2, and then we check it. It's still less than 4, and so on. So we go to the end of the list, and we print 40, and then we will done. So basically, we can use these index numbers to process all the items in a list separately, access them, and process them. Do you have any questions so far? And let me proceed. In many cases, we might not know how many items in a list. Maybe we are reading it from a file. Maybe it is generated within a code and so on. Maybe it's not manually typed. So for those cases, what we can do, like, because I typed here 4, because I just counted, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 items. But actually, I don't have to. There's a function which is called len, L-E-N, and it takes a parameter. As a parameter, it takes list. So if I put my list as a parameter to this function, it gives me the number of items in that list. So length my list will return me 4, so that will basically do the same thing. Let me run this code. Again, it will give me the same part. And if I just take this code and run it also here, it will give me 4. So len, it stands for length. So length of a list is basically the number of items in that list, so that we can use this built-in function to get the number of items in a list. And it will be good to mention this also. This starting counting from 0 is kind of a, well, you might call it weird. It's different. Yes, I know it. It's like when you first get into programming, then this is one of the different cases that we are not used to. We always start counting from 1. But in many programming languages, it's not Python specific. In most of the programming languages, the index starts from 0. In some of them, like MATLAB, the index starts from 1. But in C, C++, Java, and all others, the index is always 0. And because of this, you might be a little bit more careful about it. Are you really processing old items, or are you out of the index? Because of this, for instance, one common mistake or easy to mistake is, what is the index of the last item? So in our case, if we go here, it is, I have this 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, I have 40 items. So the last index of the last item is 3. So I need to, and when we are using length function, len function, I can also write it in this way. So the length will give me the number of items. So it's not, so it will return me 4, but the index of the last item is not 4. It is 3. So I have to say -1. Then I will be able to get the last item. So to wrap up, length list function -1 gives me the index of the last item in that list. Any questions so far? Shall I proceed? All right. Well, lists are mutable. So what does it mean is, we can also change the value of items in a list. How can we do it? Well, again, we will basically get one of the specific items that we want to change in that list by using square brackets, and again by using its index, and then we will use this assignment operator and then whatever we want to assign. So I want to go over this code, but I would like to run it on my Python. So I will make a copy paste of this, and I'll copy paste it here. Because of the copy paste operations, I have some issues here I need to fix. So there is some indentation problems here and some space problems here I need to fix, and also enter the sales for each day, and also here are the values you entered. Now let's look at what this code is doing. Okay, number of days is 5, so we assign a value which is 5. All right, then we assign a sales list, which is a list that contains 0 times 5. What does this mean? Do you remember? We had seen it in the last lecture. In Python. Huh? Can you say it again, please?
0 times number times 5, the number of zeros.
Number of zeros. So what will it return me? If I run it in this way, for instance, the output will be a list that contains 5 zeros. So basically, I multiply that list with 5 and create another list that is 5 times larger of it, and it contains the same items. Like it contains only 1 zero, so now the same list contains 5 zeros. So I basically created a list that contains 5 items and all of their values are 0. And then I start going with the index 0. I print a message for the user, enter the sales for each day, and then in a while loop, while index is less than 5, so I will iterate over the list, and I will update all the values in this list. As you can see that, like for the sale list, I'm updating it by what? Well, I'm getting a input from the user and returning it to float. So basically the number of sales for each day. I'm asking the user to provide it, and then I'm adding it to my list. And then at each iteration, I increment it by 1 so that I can proceed over the list, so that I will be also able to exit from the list. Then once I'm done, I'm printing what the user entered, using in a for loop now, like for each value in sales. So this is again, sales is our list. So this also allows us to proceed to iterate over the items in a list without using this index value. So then I'm just printing each values here. So when I print this, when we run this code, so it says enter the sales for each day. For day 1 it's 50, for day 2 is 60, then for the 8, then 20, then 190, and then it prints it also for me. Any questions so far? Now what I want you to do is actually like to look at this code and appreciate how far we came from the beginning of the semester. So in the beginning of the semester, things were somehow embarrassingly easy. Like we were defining, okay, this is how you define the numbers, variables, this is how you do the addition. So things were extremely easy. But then now we are building up all this knowledge, and what we come here is now we are able to process, you are now able to process large data, multiple data, and you are able to read it from a file. You can write it to a file. So literally now what you can do is you can use this coding knowledge in many engineering applications. You can gather data from a file, even though it's very sophisticated. And then you can keep it in the variables. You can process them. Even though if it's a long list of data, by using list, we can process them and then do your necessary calculations. All right. Do you have any questions so far? And I'm proceeding to the next slide, and yeah, we have around 5 more minutes. And Python has many shortcuts to do some normally sophisticated applications, but you can easily do them with some simple operators in Python. Like, let's say that you want to concatenate two lists. Okay, I have one list item here, list one here. I'll make a copy paste again here. I'll do it here. And let's say that I just want to, I just want to concatenate them. So I want to create another list that contains the items of these two lists. So what I can do is basically, let's say that I want to create this list 3. If I just say list 1 plus list 2, then it will do the trick. Then it will basically do the concatenation. When let's print it, then the result will be basically this list 3 will contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I change these numbers, like if I say list 2 plus list 1, what will be the output of this code? Now it's the list 2 plus list 1. Yes, now the order will be basically 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in Java, if you wanted to do this, like I have two lists and I want to concatenate it, it wouldn't be that easy. You would need to do some more operations to do this concatenation operation. But in Python, it's highly easy operation. You can just do this sum operator. And also we can even use it for, let me also do it here on the right side. If I have this and if I have this list 2 here, I can even use this augmented operator. If I do it, it means that, okay, take the list 2 and concatenate it to list 1. So when I run this code, then the list 1 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can basically use this plus operator or this augmented assignment operator to this list concatenation operation. Any questions so far? All right. This will be my last slide before the quiz. And also Python has, again, this nice feature. Again, it doesn't exist in many other programming languages, which is slicing list. So like you have a cake and then you want to slice a couple of pieces of it. You can also do it in list in Python. What I mean here is, for instance, let's say that we have this list: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I just want to get some of the days from this list, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I want to get that slice from this list. How can I do it? Well, again, I will have this using the days array. And then I need to specify, okay, which list index that I will start. So in this case, Tuesday, the index of Tuesday is Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2. So the start index is 2. And then the colon. And then where I should stop. So, well, so Wednesday is 3, Thursday is 4, Friday is 5, Friday is not included. So I will put here 5. So it basically says that, okay, give me the items from index 2 to 5, but 5 is not included. Okay? So it will basically give me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I would like to run it on my computer also. So let me do this way. So this is my list. And then if I say days, 2, 5, it will give me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Or you can just play with those numbers from 1 to 4. That will give me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. So I can just get a slice from the list, by using this. And also, if I don't specify the starting point, like I just said, colon and then 4, so there's no starting index, then it means that it will start from the beginning. So it means that from the beginning, go up to the index 4, but of course 4 is not included. So basically, Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, and Wednesday's index is 3. So we will stop here. So I can get it from that part. And similarly, if I said, okay, from 2 to end. So if I don't specify any end index, it means go to the end. There's no, so which means that start from index 2, take the rest of all the days, so all the items. So starting from Tuesday, I will get all the items in that list. And if I don't even mention the starting point, like just no starting point, no end point, well, it means give me the whole list. Any questions so far? And the last part is, okay, I'll say this and then we'll be done. Like in the range function, for this part we can also specify, I will explain it from here. Let me zoom in a little bit. If I have this list, let's say that from 10 to 100, then if I say provide this 1 colon 8 colon 2, what it means is it's like how the range function works. But now this is in terms of indexes. So start from 1, go to 8, but increment will be 2. So it will be basically give me, so starting from 1, which is 10 is 0 index of 20 is 1, so I will start from here, 20, but then the increment count is 2, so I will get index 1, index 3, index 5, index 7. And then I will stop because my ending point is 8. So index 1 is 20, index 3 is 40, index 5 is 60, index 7 is 80, so I will print this way. So I can specify how many the increment of it, like in the range function. And I can also give, if I give minus 5 as a starting point, remember that if I give a minus number, it starts counting from the beginning, which means that now minus 5 means like minus 1 is 100, 90 is minus 2, 80 minus 3, 70 minus 4, 60 is minus 5. So starting from 60, go to the end because I didn't put anything, so that's why we have this 60 to 100. Any question? Well, for this part, especially for the slicing, indexing part, please do lots of practice. By the practice, what you can do is create a list, try to access any of it, try to create different slices and so on. It's easy to do mistakes here because you really need to be careful about it. Okay, we'll start from 0, this is the index, this is not the real number where we end. So it's really beneficial to do practice for this case. So it's 10 to 29. I will stop now for the quiz.